Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to be finishing our nonfiction text today called Introducing North America. So yesterday we looked through it and we were coming up with some of our wonder questions using our wonder wheel behind me. Today we're going to go through, we're going to see what do we notice, what do we wonder, what do we have more questions about. So here is our front cover, our back cover, and our spine. That spine holds the book together. Here is our title page. Our title page has our title once again. And then in an informational text or a reference text, we have our table of contents. So here's our table of contents, which we need to use today because we stopped in the middle of the book. So I believe we stopped on the sports and culture section. So we need to find that. Here it is, sports and culture, and then we use our finger and we just follow these dots until we see what page number, and that is on page 20. So now I don't have to flip through the book looking for the picture. I just have to look at the page numbers, that's a text feature that we know, on the bottom to find page 20. Here it is. Boom. That's how you find it quickly. So sports and culture. Remember, we're learning about North America, which is the continent that we live in, but North America also includes Canada and Central America and all of those places. So we may be familiar with some of the things, we may be unfamiliar with some of them. Something to notice and wonder. Sports and culture, so that's our heading, so we know right away that these two pages are going to teach us about sports and culture. Baseball, basketball, and ice hockey are popular sports in the United States and Canada. Football began in the United States. The Super Bowl is the biggest game of the year. All right, and so here's a picture of a baseball field. I know we have lots of baseball, football fans in our class. Hollywood is in Los Angeles, California. It is the center of the movie industry in the United States. Hundreds of movies are made there every year. Popular music in North America includes country music in the United States and reggae music in the islands of the Caribbean. So this says, this is a caption. Remember, captions tell us more about the pictures. This reggae band is playing on the island of Jamaica. Awesome. And this book is just introducing us to North America. It is not telling us everything about North America because we know that there's a lot of other kinds of music, there's a lot of other kinds of sports, but if they were to include everything in this book, the book would be so long. So they're just giving us a few ideas, and that goes for all the books that we've read about different places. Countries. There are 23 countries in North America. The continent is made up mostly of 3 very large countries. These are the United States of America, where we live, Canada, and Mexico. Canada is the second largest country in the world after Russia. So Canada is that one that's right above us. And this is called a compass, okay? And you see there are 4 letters on the compass. The N stands for north, the W stands for west, the S stands for south, and the E stands for east. So you might hear people say that Canada is to the north of us, and that's because if you look at that compass, it is up, going straight up like the letter N, which stands for north. And all those letters always stay in the same place. So we can see that Mexico is to the south of us. All right. Most of the countries of North America are islands in the Caribbean Sea, such as Cuba and Jamaica. Greenland is the world's largest island, but it is not a country. It is part of Denmark, a country in Europe. Oh, I don't even think I knew that. So that is something that I noticed. So here's Greenland, and Greenland is actually part of Europe on the other side of this ocean. Cities and countryside. New York City, Los Angeles, Mexico City, and Toronto are some of the cities in North America with the greatest number of people. So greatest number of people means biggest number. Mexico City is the largest city in North America. Around 20 million people live there. New York is an important world business center. So the caption on this picture says, there are dozens of skyscrapers in the center of New York City. Ooh, I know, we read a book a while ago where we learned about skyscrapers. There are thousands of small towns in the plains of North America. Many people who live there are farmers who grow wheat and raise cattle. In Central America, most people work on small farms. They grow coffee, sugar, or bananas. All right, so when they say plains, they're not talking about an airplane. They're talking about a different kind of plains. And actually, this word is in bold, which means that we can find it in our glossary. So if you're thinking, what in the world is a plain? Then we can go to our glossary and we see the word plains, and it says flat lands. So when they say that there are thousands of small towns in the plains of North America, they're not talking about airplanes, they're talking about the flat lands in North America. So this is the main street in April, a town in Massachusetts. Neat. Natural resources and products. Trees are cut down in the forests of Canada and the United States. The wood is used to make furniture, houses, and many other wooden objects. Oil and gas are found under the ground and ocean in many places. So this oil rig is in the Gulf of Mexico. We use oil for gasoline for our cars. That's our biggest use of it. North America has many different industries. Cars are made in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Boeing airplanes are made near Seattle, Washington, so now they are talking about airplanes. Silicon Valley in California is the home of the U.S. computer industry. So here our Boeing airplanes are being made in a giant factory. So that is really neat. If you pause that picture, I'm sure you could come up with lots of questions about what's going on there. All right, so now we just have some fun facts at the end. The first one says the Panama Canal cuts through the middle of the country of Panama. It carries huge ships between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Remember, one side of the United States has the Atlantic Ocean, and on the other side is the Pacific Ocean. Tornado Alley is an area in the center of the United States where many tornadoes hit every year. I'm not sure that that's a fun fact, but it's a fact. Greenland is covered with a sheet of ice that is almost 2 miles thick in some places. Wow. And the Boeing aircraft factory near Seattle, Washington is the world's largest building. Wow, that's really interesting. You would have to have a really big building in order to build an airplane inside it, right? Think of how big an airplane is. So to have a bunch of them in a building, that's gotta be a pretty big building. All right, then at the back we have our glossary, and this book also has some books that we can look up to find out more, or some websites that we can go to, and I will put those underneath that video in case you want to check them out. All right, thank you for reading with me today, and I will see everybody back here to learn more about North America tomorrow.